Hi, my name is Ian MacDonald, and on behalf of the CPBC at NAU, I'm going to show you how to use the Quick Mask tool. So first we're going to start by opening up an image, and for this one I'm going to use 12. We use the Quick Mask tool in the event that one of the images has a background that looks messy. If we want to clean up this image for something like a publication, we can use the Quick Mask tool in Adobe Photoshop to eliminate the background and supplement a new background that's a little more clean. So we're going to first go to the Quick Mask tool. It's located beneath the color swatches. It's a square with a smaller circle inside of it, so you're just going to click on the Quick Mask tool. Once it's highlighted, you can go up to the brush tool. And so what the brush tool will allow you to do is to color in your object and then select it and paste it into a new image. So first you want to start off by getting a large brush size. The larger the brush is, the faster this process will go. It is a little bit tedious, so I usually jump up to about 300 pixels. And so that'll give me a nice big brush to work with, and so I can just start coloring in my image. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, finish coloring this in, and then move on to the next step. Alright, so as you may see, some of my areas are still left unhighlighted. I'm going to go through and show you how to change your brush size and highlight those areas that are a little smaller so that the image comes out clean. So first you need to find the magnify tool. So the magnify tool is directly above the swatches. Hit plus magnification, and then you can zoom in on areas. Now the brush we were using before is far too big to get smaller areas towards the interior. So what you can do is go in and change your brush size to something a little more reasonable. Probably around 88 would be fine. And then you can color in these smaller areas. It is something that I failed to note before. You want your opacity at 100%. If your opacity is not at 100%, when you go to paste your image into your new document, it's going to have a strange opacity effect to it. And you can use this to your advantage if you're trying to overlay this on the whole organism or possibly some other application. But for right now, you want your opacity at 100%. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight all those areas that I didn't highlight before, and then I'll turn the camera back on. Another brief little note, if you happen to mess up and over-highlight something, it's a pretty easy fix. All you have to do is use the eraser tool. So the eraser tool is located 3 down from the brush tool. You can also change the size of your eraser, so if you wanted something really tiny, you could put it down to something like 6. And then you can go back over areas that you've highlighted and eliminate anything that you've over highlighted. So it's a nice little tool in the event that you mess something up. So I'm going to finish up highlighting this fish and then we'll go to the next step. Alright, once you've selected the image that you want to move into your new canvas, what you do is you go and deselect the Quick Mask tool. When you do that, it's going to select everything outside of the area that you drew on. It's really easy to select the area you want, so you just go up to Select, Inverse, and then it'll inverse the selection of the image you colored in. So we're going to go ahead and make a new image, so go to File, New. When you do this, it'll let you choose your dimensions. So these are my final dimensions, the ones that I actually want, so I'm going to change it a little so I can show you how to resize the canvas. Now we have a new canvas, and you can choose your background color too. This is selected based on a swatch that was previously selected. So if you've made it too big, you can go to Image, Canvas Size, and that'll allow you to resize your canvas. So 14.4 by 5.48. Okay. So we'll go back to that image that we just had selected. Again, you can copy your image. So that error just told me that I didn't select the right area. So nothing pasted into my new image. So I'm going to create a new layer. go back to my old image, and make sure you're on the same layer as the image. So this one's background. So as long as you're on background, you can select your image. So Control C, that's going to copy it. Control V will paste it. Great, now we have our image on this new background, but it's a little too dark. So we can change our background color by just adding a new layer, drag the layer below the image you just selected. You can use the rectangle tool, and if you double click, it'll let you choose the width and height of your rectangle. So we're going to do 14.4 inches by, all right, well, we can just draw it. So go to your corner, just drag across. So now it's the entire width. So you'll see that the color is the same. What we can do is we can use the eyedropper tool, which is going to take just a second to find. Oh, it's right there. That was shameful. All right, and you can select one of the colors that was your background color. That should put the swatch. And add to swatches. Okay. All right. So if we go back and we highlight our rectangle, we should be able to apply that color to the swatch. So the reason that wasn't working before was because you need to make sure that you're on the layer of the image to select from that image. So I just kept selecting the same color from that first rectangle. So we should be able to change the color of this rectangle. Or just go ahead and start it. Delete them. So we'll go ahead, drag a new rectangle now that we have the proper color. And it shouldn't matter if it's a little too big. There we go. So now we have at least the right color rectangle. I'm going to pause this again. Now that your rectangle looks exactly the way you want it to, you can go back in and add the scale bar. So go to Image, Analysis, Set Measurement Scale. This was taken with the 65mm at 2x. Then we can go Image, Analysis, Place Scale Marker. We're going to make this large enough to see at the corner. You can use white or black. Doesn't matter. So that's the finished image. And so this technique is really good if you image with something like glycerol that makes the image background really uneven and sort of messy looking. This allows you to control what your background looks like. The only drawback to it is it's really time consuming and it does take a long time to generate these images. So I wouldn't recommend doing it unless you intend to use the picture for a publication. So we're going to go ahead and save this as a variation on our original image, and we are going to call it Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and good luck.